Morning guys, I promise this is not clickbait. This is an actual thing, McDonald's for migraine. It's been my guilty secret for many years that I treat my migraines with McDonald's fairly regularly. I have mentioned it to you guys here and there, but for those of you that are new here, I have had migraines I've had them for 20 plus years, but I've had them chronically for about 7 or 8 years, and I've had them daily for nearly 4 years now. So they've been a problem. But yes, I've been going to McDonald's probably every other week during the last few years, since it opened again after lockdown, I think it's been. The funny thing is, I actually only crave and want a McDonald's when I have a migraine. And I only realised this the other day. I actually said to my husband, when's the last time we went to McDonald's? When it wasn't when I'd had a really bad migraine, and it was instead of dinner, because it's normally, my husband gets home late, he gets home about 7, half 7, and if I've not been well enough to cook dinner, I want to eat something, and I normally crave a McDonald's. And he said, like, rarely, very rarely do we go to McDonald's. The only other time we go is at the weekend if I've not made sandwiches for our big adventures at the weekend. And then I normally have chicken nuggets. I don't have my kind of evening migraine treatment, which is I have a quarter pounder with cheese, a plain quarter pounder with cheese, and I don't eat the bun, and I have a caramel frappe. And it's so weird. At first I thought maybe it's just psychosomatic. Maybe it's just the fact that I'm looking forward to this food because I really enjoy it, and that's why I'm releasing happy hormones, and that's helping with the pain, because happy hormones do help with the pain. And I thought it was maybe that. I thought it was possibly the sugar, and that my sugars had dropped. Having hyperinsulinemia, though, I check my sugar quite often, and so I made sure I checked my sugar. It wasn't the sugar. I thought it was maybe the ice. I thought it was maybe the cream. I thought maybe it's the cream. I'll have some ice cream at home and see if that worked, and it didn't. I've kind of tried to deconstruct it and figure out what it is, and never really found an answer until I started reading this book. And those of you that know me know I'm not very good at reading a full book. I tend to look at this book, it's pretty thick, and I've started to try and read it again. I've got that far. I flick through a book. I want to know the takeaways of a book. I really struggle to read a full book. But with this, I came across a particular part, and I remember I was in bed reading. I'd gone to bed to read, and I called my husband through and was like, you need to hear this. So I'm going to read it to you. The title of this little paragraph is Junk Food or No Junk Food. I need to put my glasses on to read this. I am sure you are 100% convinced that junk food is bad for you. I agree with you, and I wish I have never been tempted by it. But if I'm about to get a migraine and I am away from home or office, and the only thing within reach is a junk food place, I will in fact prevent or treat my migraine by eating junk food. A cheeseburger without the bun or fries or soft drink provides a high potassium meal. Just add mustard or salt. Choose to drink water or milk instead of a soft drink. And then it just tells you about the fact that, as we know, junk food is not good. I know this, obviously. I could not believe I was reading that, because I had never heard of anybody else feeling this way. I had a colleague that I worked with, well, actually she worked for me, and she had migraines, and she and I often talked about the fact that we craved food. But that was when I was working in the hospital, and it was before I'd kind of discovered McDonald's as my cure, if you like. But we would both talk about the fact that we craved food, and would try and eat like a big meal, and then try and eat lots of sweet stuff, and it was almost like instinctually you needed to eat. And the girl that I'm talking about was very, very disciplined in that she went to the gym every day. She counted every single calorie. She was thin, as was I at the time. But if she got a migraine, she said she could literally be surrounded by empty packets of biscuits. So we go about every fortnight probably. It's not a scheduled thing. It's just on those days where I've been in pain all day, nothing has worked, and normally Kev comes home to find me crying, and like I said, I've been unable to make the dinner I had planned to. We will just jump in the car and go to McDonald's. And he's definitely an enabler, because he knows it helps me. And it's like, by the time we start off, we go and sit in the car and eat it. And then by the time we start off on the journey home, I'm feeling much better. It's just like a miracle cure. So what exactly is it that's the thing that helps? According to this, and like I said, I've started to read the book again and looked into it a bit more. I haven't even showed you the title of the book, have I? It is called Fighting the Migraine Epidemic, The Complete Guide, How to Treat and Prevent Migraines Without Medications. And it's by somebody called Angela Stanton, PhD. So she is a doctor, but not a medical doctor. It seems to be, in this particular paragraph, it's about electrolytes. And so because she mentions potassium, she says to add salt to it, which I do. I do add salt to my burger. I've always liked salty food, so I add salt to the burger. I don't eat the bun, which she mentions to do. She says don't have a soft drink, have a milk. I don't have milk, I have my frappe. Now, the frappe is made from dairy milk and cream. And I've tried the frappe alone and it hasn't worked. I've never tried just the burger, to be fair. So yeah, it seems to be about electrolytes. But the reason it's about electrolytes, I think, is because the whole premise of this book and the takeaway is that keto will help your migraines. That's a theory I've heard before, and I actually did keto. Now, when did I do keto? I've done keto in the last 8 years. Haven't done it in the last 4 years, so it must have been just before that, I think, that I did the keto diet. I did actually lose weight and I did really enjoy the diet, but it's a hard diet. I found it hard to sustain. It's hard to come up with ideas of what to eat, especially when you've done it for a little while and you start to feel like you just want something sort of non-meaty. You just want like some potatoes or something fresh. And I'm not very good with eating vegetables either. So I've tried keto and keto didn't work for me for my migraine. But that is the premise of this. And the thing is, when you're on keto, you could do with taking electrolytes definitely in the first couple of weeks because your electrolytes can get out of balance. So electrolytes is the idea of this, keto and electrolytes. So I'm not here telling you run to McDonald's and get a burger and a frappe like I do, but it's something worth thinking about. What are the elements and is it something you can incorporate that might help you? And by all means, go and try a burger because like I said, for me, it works. Now, I'm not supposed to have nobody's supposed to have any of this, are they? But I'm not supposed to have any of the horrible fats in the red meat. I'm probably not supposed to have the red meat, not supposed to have the cream in the frappe, the sugar in the frappe. It's all stuff I would like to avoid. And as I said, I actually only crave it when I've had a really bad migraine. I don't know whether it's the postdrome stage coming on because I do still have the headache. I don't know, but I've got heart issues. I've got high cholesterol. I should be avoiding all of that stuff. But to me, this is the problem I'm dealing with now. And this is not just a week or two. This has been years. And so I'm dealing with this problem and not worrying about everything else until I've got these migraines under control a bit, which seems to be happening with the medication I'm on at the moment, which is gabapentin. What I'm going to do going forward is I'm going to try an electrolyte drink and see if that helps. I seem to remember it said in here not to use supplements, that they don't work as well, I guess, because they wouldn't get into your system as quickly. You know, you need to be getting it from food or drinks. There is also, I think it's in this book, a salt test where you hold salt in your mouth and see if that helps your migraine, which I did, and it didn't the time I tried it. So I might have a look into that again though. Like I said, I am trying to read this book again from the beginning. So I hope that this was helpful. I would love to hear from you if you have any kind of cravings when you have a migraine. I've never heard of anybody else that has a McDonald's as a kind of treatment. That she said prevention and treatment for her, so it's obviously when she can feel the migraine coming on. I've never tried having it when the migraine comes on. It's always like at the end of the day when I've just, you know, had enough of being in pain. But I'd love to hear from you if McDonald's is something that helps you, or a burger and, you know, a drink like that. I thought I would look it up on YouTube just to see if anything else come up, and 2 videos came up. One was a girl saying she had a migraine and she was going to go and try the McDonald's cure, but I don't think she had any meat, and she didn't, to me, seem like she had a migraine because she was talking to the camera, and if I've got a migraine I can't talk to the camera. She maybe had a slight headache. And there was one other one in which the title said that McDonald's for migraine, but she didn't seem to talk about it throughout the video. So yeah, I'd be very interested to hear if anybody else has this. Hope this was helpful. Thank you very much for watching. You can see my migraine journey and the years of different things I've tried on here, and I will speak to you again soon.